Howdy there, folks. Mike D'Angelo here, aka that Tellest guy. I am taking a moment or two longer to get ready than I'd prefer. I had a minor incident up here when I first came up to the room. It was already too jacked full of stuff, and I was trying to move some stuff into the closet and knocked over two big old bookshelves. So I've got books and DVDs and everything all over the floor in here. So that's what took me a few minutes longer to get going than I was expecting. Anyway, I'm going to ignore that for the moment, and we'll talk about the other stuff that we've got going on today. So it's Talking Tellest today. I feel like we talked briefly last week for like 15 minutes about the heroes of Tellest. Today we're going to be talking about Quantum Quest specifically, which is why you can see I've got the Quantum Quest website up and things like that. Quantum Quest is a game that my brother and I and my best friend Kev worked on a couple years back. We've been talking forever at this point about getting the expansion ready and out there in the world. The expansion has been done. It's been play tested like crazy. It's ready to drop. We're just trying to find the right time to do it, and trying to make sure that people are aware that we didn't disappear off the face of the planet. So we do have more of that coming. But the thing that we're going to talk about today is not necessarily the games. We're actually going to be talking about the novelization tie-in. So this is something that I wanted to get off the ground ever since the first Quantum Quest Kickstarter, and it's just I have too many books that I'm working on, and I'm slow, to begin with in more ways than one. So after a long time, at one point Quantum Quest, it might have even been 2 years, but at least 1 year Quantum Quest was my NaNoWriMo. It might have been unofficial, but it was a story that I spent a considerable amount of time on. It's a story that follows multiple groups, as is the way that you typically handle things in Quantum Quest. So there was a lot going on in a lot of different places. We had kind of like three main characters who were the driving force of the story, and I'll explain a little bit more as we go, but I just wanted to kind of set the stage and let everybody know. At the time, I thought that it was going to be my longest book since The Enemy Within. It is a pretty hefty book for a video game, not a video game, a tabletop game tie-in, which is, not to say anything bad about it. It's pretty robust. It's got a lot of stuff that it's doing. It's lifting a pretty heavy tail. And one second. Just moving one of my fans around a little bit. And it actually helps to lead forward some of the cool stuff for the rest of the Tellest universe. And we'll take a little bit of a sidestep here. And if you're here from, either the MailChimp newsletter that went out or the Kickstarter update, you might be here because you want to see the reveal of the Quantum Quest novelization cover. So I did a little preview earlier today. Let's pop up this bad boy. So this is your front cover, sans titling, sans author, any of that stuff that we've got for the Quantum Quest novelization. So I'm happy that you're just here supporting me, Sean. I appreciate that. I need that today. So this is our three main characters from the book. Those who have played the game will notice that maybe two of these characters are familiar as bonus characters from the first Kickstarter. Sorry, just making sure there was no doggy sniffing around up here. So we have Reese in the bottom left. He is our kind of unwilling time traveler who ends up going through time and space in the Tellest universe and ends up seeing some of the things that may have gotten messed up from his shattering of the Void Orb. And then behind him, we have Nersha, the actual keeper of the Void, basically the embodiment of time itself. And she has joined Reese on this quest, again, kind of against her will in some very interesting ways. And then in the bottom right, we have a relatively new character to the Tellest universe. Virgil showed up in Tales of Tellest Volume 2 and a couple of short stories, and he's kind of like our Data. In a way, he's trying to understand humanity and learn what it takes to be more of a singular being. At the same time, he's infused with the memories of the Void Orb. He's got a shard of the Void embedded in his head, and that gives him kind of some like childlike mannerisms, but the sensibility to know that there's more to life than what he is aware of. So he's kind of got some weird stuff going on like that, but he makes a wonderful companion to Rhys. And the thing that kind of makes this an interesting story to tell is Rhys, Virgil, and Nersha all end up in different places in the dungeon when it shows up after one of Rhys and Virgil's quests. Nersha meets them there because she senses that there's something going wrong with the void energy and things like that, and all heck breaks loose at that point, and we get to send our adventurers off to see what kind of stuff they can do in the living dungeon. And the cool thing about it is it stays pretty true to the Quantum Quest kind of mythology. We do have kind of the idea that multiple adventuring groups end up in the dungeon at the same time. They're surviving rooms. They're not necessarily, purchasing them with mana or anything like that, but it kind of sets things up in that way. In the future, if there was a Quantum Quest Novelization 2, we might be able to go down that route or something along those lines. But in this case, it's really just giving the Quantum Quest chambers a chance to shine, do those kind of things, and yeah, so far my best way of describing it is if you've ever seen the sci-fi movie The Cube, or just Cube, I guess it is. I don't think it has a preceding the, but it's very much Cube meets Dungeons and Dragons. It's trap after trap after trap that these poor suckers have to go through. You get to learn a little bit more about the characters from the Quantum Quest game who have yet to become kind of, central characters in the Tellest tapestry. But this gives them a little bit more chance to shine. You get to see a little bit more information about how they came to be, and things like that. And then we also get to see some of our favorite characters from other stories who ended up making their way into the Quantum Quest universe pop a little bit more as well. So Alicia Main, pretty much all four of the characters that you see on the cover of the box art on the original Quantum Quest, they're characters in the story. I figured if they had FaceTime on the box, it only made sense that they had FaceTime in the book. They're actually going to be on the back cover of the book. So the four of them got their chance to shine. We get to see a slightly different version of Alicia Main, one who's seen a lot of stuff and kind of has an idea of what her powers are and really kind of leans into it a lot. But we also get to see some other characters who have shown up in other short stories and things like that, and it's a pretty good time. So that will most likely be coming out the middle of next month. I had my editor passed off the work. He told me that I didn't have to pay him for this one because he knows that there's a little bit of a struggle to make sure that our ends are being met right now, and he totally took us for a loop when he said, hey, don't worry about it this time. So the only thing that I needed to do was collaborate with Stephen Belshaw, who did this wonderful cover for us. And it looks very similar in a way to the structure of the Ancestral Magic collection that we just had done. That book actually comes out tomorrow. So probably a month between... Oh, Rihanna, it's okay. Maisie can bark all she wants. I don't know if anyone can hear her all the way down there anyway. And even if they can't, it's a bonus. Yeah, budgeting is the ultimate evil, absolutely. That's why I'm selling all my games on the game sale subreddit. Give me 1 second. I need to hydrate. I've been talking too much today. So you can see there's maybe a little bit of familiarity when it comes to kind of the composition of this cover. And that's very likely going to be the way that we kind of do things from now on. I'm still hoping to get Leo on board for the individual trilogy books if we can. Every one of my artists gets busier and busier every year, and I feel like we have to fight for any time that we can get with Leo. We do know that he's going to be doing some work for us for the Christmas bookmark this year. He assured us that he would be able to help us with that kind of thing. But when it comes to the books, Quantum Quest was the first one that he had to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it. So we're going to try and make sure that, like for instance, for Silver Serpent Volume 2 and for the third Son of the Storm book, we'll have him involved there. But when it comes to putting together the trilogy art, very likely that we'll do the same thing that we did with Ancestral Magic, and we'll go to Paul to do kind of a sketch if he's available, and then we'll bring that sketch over to Stephen Belshaw, have him do an amazing job on those. And it's probably going to be something like this, where you see the 2 or 3 characters that are the most important to that trilogy being told. So what else do we have to talk about? So I have a feeling that this is going to be another one of those streams that probably doesn't go as long as we usually do, just because this was hyper focused on the Quantum Quest novelization. But we will tell you that in about 45 minutes from now, we're going to have the second live Quantum Quest playthrough. It'll be all digital again, just like we had last time, but this time we're going to be featuring a couple of new players. We've streamlined the situation a little bit more so that we can have like a better experience with it. It shouldn't take as long, and we shouldn't be jumping from window to window as much as we did before. And it'll be like a good demonstration of the cards that we have for the reinforcement set. Anybody who's new to Quantum Quest, new to this stream, you can see the kind of stuff that we're into and the kind of stuff that we do. I'm sort of running on a little bit of fumes today. We did our first reunion D&D session for the Tellest D&D campaign that I've been running for years, but I took like a 3-year hiatus because of is that cicada coming? Oh, that's what it is. This window is wide open. I took a hiatus because of COVID, and now that that's quote unquote over, we're going to try and get involved in that a little bit more often. So we'll see what happens there. And that ended up sapping me out of all the energy that I had this weekend, but it was a good time. So, that kind of stuff is what breeds the imagination for things like Quantum Quest. So anyway, all that to say, we're likely going to have a nice 4-player game of Quantum Quest with the new cards. Hello there, everyone, again, and welcome to the stream. We are looking at the second Talking Tellest of the evening. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy, and I am here with 3 lovely players this evening. We've got Bless, Britt, and Dave, all friends in real life, all people who have helped to build out Quantum Quest in their own ways. Bless and Britt have helped me a lot when it comes to conventions. Dave has helped me do a lot of testing, and each of these 3 lovely people have a Tellest character that they've inspired along the way, so we're using their Tellest characters as the player tokens today, and we ought to have a lot of fun with that. Let's see, give me 1 second to just check the Discord. Got a message, but I don't know who it was from, so I'm going to assume it was not important. Can the 3 of you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, everything okay?
Yeah,
all right, cool, perfect. All right, so we've done this before. We've done a live stream of Quantum Quest in this kind of digital format. It makes it a lot easier. We don't have to throw a camera on, a table or anything, and make sure that we're seeing everything the right way. What we did this time around was we learned a few more tricks that help us to put together the dungeon. Number 1, you'll see the first thing is we already have all the chambers picked out. Now, one of the things that I wanted to show was I didn't just, randomly choose this. Well, I randomly chose it. I didn't personally choose that randomization. I let a goofy little Excel formula do it for me. So I'm going to show you really quick, just so you can see this is how this came to be. I put together a little Excel formula that let me figure out what order we were going to do things. Let's speed this along. You can see what I did was make sure that we didn't have any duplicates in place. I did that kind of thing. What's that?
We can't see Excel if you're showing it.
Oh, you know what? So you might not be able to see it, but it is on the stream. I think when I shared on Discord, I only shared the excuse me, my brain is melting. I only shared the PowerPoint. So with that in mind, you mentioned that you didn't see that, but are you seeing the dice roll mechanism over on the right side or no?
No.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to tweak some stuff real quick. It's important that I get this right.
It's a shame because I'm a sucker for a good Excel program.
Here, I'll show it to you. So, one more time. We're going to show this off. It's important. All right, so here's my formula. So just a bunch of randomizations, a static zone for me to actually make the chambers, and then a duplicate check to make sure that there are no duplicates that I was throwing in there. So you can see where everything was supposed to go. So you can see this is pretty much the layout: entrance, spectral swords, necromantic storm. If I go back into here and we zoom this in, you should be able to see that was the layout that we had. So just to show that, you know, I let the fates decide. It wasn't something that I decided for us. And we talked a little bit beforehand. Let's take a real quick look at everybody's characters. So everybody has got a pretty nice mix of whatever they've got. So Bless, you've got a thief, you've got a warrior, you've got a mage. Britt, you've got a warrior, a mage, a cleric. Just as a reminder, Britt, for your cleric, you have the option to prevent 1 damage from coming in. So you've got this little yellow token on your Minotaur healer. Anytime you decide, you can say, hey, I'm going to use that token, and it'll stop a damage from coming in.
Perfect.
Dave has got a thief, a mage, and a warrior. And then I've got 3 stupid warriors. And just for everybody who's watching elsewhere, we've got 1 warrior chamber, 2 warrior chambers, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll land on the Hydrafly nest, which everybody can buy, or the Plague Rat Den, which everybody can buy. But there's not a lot of stuff for me here at all. We also, this is going to be a nasty game because we have 2 curses. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4 torture chambers, 5 torture chambers. So it's going to be a nasty one. I don't imagine that this is going to go the full hour like we went last time, but we'll have to wait and see. Just as a refresher for everybody else who's watching, the way the game works is the 4 players are going to take their teams of adventurers through the dungeon. When we land on a dungeon, we have to either take damage or buy the chamber if we're able to. For the people who take damage, you're going to see their adventurers start to whittle down little by little. When all their adventurers are dead, that's it for them. They can't win anymore, with the exception of if for some reason they manage to get 20 mana and they can buy their way back in, they can buy an adventurer. I don't think that's going to happen today. Like I said, those rooms are pretty nasty, so we're expecting to go quick. Mana is typically earned by one of 2 ways. You either pass all the way through the board and you pass entrance, or you land on the entrance, in which case you get a bonus mana. Or when I'm rolling for you, if you see doubles, that means you get a mana as well. So Bless, if I roll for you and you see double 5s, just make sure to remind me to give you your extra mana down here. So let's dive right in. The order that we're going to go is based on the thief with the most health. Now, Dave and Bless, you both have the same health, so I'm just going to real quick roll for both of you. Bless, I'm going to roll for you first. You can see the roll on the screen now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Bless, you got 5. Dave, you got 8. So we're going to go Dave, Bless, Britt, and then me. So we'll just go counterclockwise here. So Dave, I'm going to roll for you to start. Are you ready?
Yes. I have a couple questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the cleric gets that 1 damage prevention ability.
Yep, you're asking him.
The other classes
get
any type of ability?
Yep, so you'll notice on screen that there's a couple of these blue numbers. That's our mana. You'll notice that everybody has a mage except for me. So everybody's up to 10 mana except me. I'm at 9. Warriors, their ability is just their natural hardiness, so that's why I have all this health. And then the thief is what determines who goes first.
Okay, so we would normally start out with 9 mana unless we have a mage.
Right. If you're doing a 2-player game, it's 7 mana plus 1 for every mage. If you're doing more than 2 players, it's an additional mana for every player over 2.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right, let's get into this. So we're going to start by rolling for Dave. And Dave, we've got an 11 for you, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, Dave, you landed on the Plague Rat Den. Let's zoom in on that for you. So, it's a 2 mana. Anybody can buy it. Seems like a no-brainer. Alrighty. So, we're going to go back out here. We're going to go into our text layer for Dave, and we're going to drop him down to 8. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to grab his blue token, and we're just going to throw a token up. Oops, excuse me. Let me actually make sure that I'm dropping that on the token layer. And that way we can clean it up later if we need to. Okay, so that's Dave's turn. Bless, it's going to be you next. So I'm going to roll for you. So we've got 9 for you. So we know that you're going to be 2 in back of where Dave was. So you're going to land on the Ironbark Grove. So let me zoom in there for you. So this is a monster chamber that costs 5, and you need a cleric. So, Bless, I don't believe you have a cleric, right?
I do not.
All right. Now, the lucky thing is you don't have 5 adventurers, so you don't have to sacrifice any of your adventurers. But the bad thing is, because of this chamber not being able to be purchased by you, one of your adventurers has to take 2 damage. So, you've got these 3 lovely people here. You're going to have to choose someone to take some damage. Do you know who you're going to deal that damage to?
Yeah, let's go with the warrior.
Okay. So we're going to bring that down to 4. So no luck for Conrad the Blessed this turn. So let's go to the screen again, and we're going to go to Britt. Now, Britt, we got a 5 for you. Why do we have... I think I'm going to be moving your token up there. Give me 1 second. Just got to move that so it doesn't follow us every time we move you. All right, so we got 5 for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is another one of those rooms that anybody can purchase. So this is probably something you're going to want to spend your mana on. Claimable by any class. 1 adventurer takes 1 damage. Next turn, subtract 1 from the player's movement roll. So pretty easy stuff. You want to purchase that?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So we're going to go and get that yellow splotch real quick, and we'll go to your token layer. And we're going to put it down here just so we can see it a little bit better. It doesn't get in the way or anything. And let's make sure that we take you down to 9 mana. All right. So my turn, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or, well, I can't even get to the other one yet. So a 7 would be ideal for me. Let's see if we can pull it off. No such luck. So, so we're going to put me on the... Oh. Come on. Work with me here. The Champion of the Void. 1 adventurer takes 1 damage. Next turn, the player rolls 1 die and moves that many spaces backward and distributes damage equal to their roll to their adventurers. So, let me deal my damage real quick. Oh, thank you. I was too busy worrying about how I was not going to survive this game. So, let's just whittle my characters down from the lowest health that they have. I have to remember if so we'll play by this rule. If I don't do the 1 die backwards, you guys will be able to call me out, and whoever calls me out will get the we'll get a bonus mana. All right, so Dave, we're back to you. Let's roll the dice for you, and we've got a 9 for you. So I believe, does that take you to the entrance? Yes, sir, it does. So nothing crazy for you, but you do get an additional mana in addition to the 2. Let's zoom in on that just so that anybody who might have joined us late can see what that looks like. Oh, it really doesn't like the scrubby zoom. So whenever a player passes the entrance, they gain 2 mana. We're playing with a house rule that says that if you land on it, you get an additional mana as well. So, Dave, you're up to 11 mana. And let's roll for Bless. Plus, you got 9. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Unfortunately, you are at a curse. This one is choose one, player loses one of their rooms, or player sacrifices one of their adventurers. That was quick. So, what are you thinking?
I guess I'll have to say farewell to my mage.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
Bliss.
Whew. All right, let's unlock this layer real quick, and we'll do this poor fella there, and let's lock that back up. All right. That's not a good start for you.
No, you flipped over the wrong one, Michael.
Oh, it was the mage. I'm sorry. Don't worry about me. That one.
Yep.
Just trying to corner the market on warriors.
Absolutely. I was like, oh, that was nice to bless. All right, Britt's turn. All right, so we got a 5 for you, Britt. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you actually have an opportunity to restore 2 health to one of your adventurers and lose 2 mana, or gain 2 mana and deal 2 damage to one of your adventurers. So you have to do one of those two. I think your adventurers are all at the same health, so the starting health. So you're probably going to have to deal 2 damage. I am running this in Photoshop, by the way, Sean. So, Britt, let's head back over to you. Do you want to deal 2 damage to... Actually, you could do 1 damage if you just want to take that token away.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's go to the token layer real quick and see if I can just erase that. Yep. All right. So, and then who do you want to deal that 1 remaining damage to?
Let's do the first guy. I can barely see who's
Yeah.
who on this.
I'll zoom it in a little bit further.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do him.
what am I doing wrong here?
You should be able to make it full screen for it in Discord, and you can see it a little better.
Yeah, you guys know my LASIK didn't work.
It didn't take? All right, so I got 1 die, and I'm rolling to go backwards. So I got 2. And I just landed on a door that I'm not going to be able to buy. That's going to make me jump forward, I think. 1 adventure takes 2 damage. The player moves forward 5 spaces where they trigger the effect of the chamber they land on. So let's real quick do the damage, and then I'll move myself forward.
And I think you have to take 2 damage from the room itself, the go backwards.
No, I dealt the damage to Gruner last turn for the Champion of the Void.
No, but then it's roll a dice, move that many space backwards, and distribute damage equal to the roll.
Oh, damn, and I made that card. Alrighty then. Let's do this real quick. So, I forgot to bring that down to 0. This is going to be a quick game, I'm telling you. Alright, let's go to our adventurers. Dave, I'm going to give you a mana for that one. Nope, wrong one. Where is my poor little dude?
Can give you a mana and kill your guys.
Mm-hmm. Where the heck? There he goes. Alrighty. Dave, you're up to 12, and I still have to do more damage to myself. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, same place that Bless landed in. So 1 adventure takes 2 damage. So we'll deal it to Kelvin, who was Kev in our last game. All right. Let's give us our second die again. And Dave, let's roll for you one more time. So you got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've landed on Britt's Angry Little Wasps, her Hydrafly nest. So Britt, you actually get to choose the adventurer in Dave's team that takes damage. So if we go to Dave's team, can you see his thief, his caster, and his monk?
Yeah.
So which one of them is going to take damage?
Let's do the thief.
Okay. Durza is going to take a damage, and she's going to go down to 3. move on to Bless. Bless, you and I are fighting to see who's going to die first.
It's not looking good.
All right, so we got 5 for you, so you're going to pass the entrance and get your 2 mana. And you landed on another cleric room, I think. So 1 adventurer takes 2 damage. If any of the players' adventurers have died, 1 adventurer takes 3 damage instead. So let's give you your mana first.
I'm never going to be able to spend it.
No. So there is a ultimate spell that you can cast at 10 mana, and that is to terraform one of the rooms that hasn't been already taken. What you can do if you get to 20 is you can buy another adventurer. I don't think anyone's going to get beyond that, but we'll see. So which one of these poor saps is going to take 3 damage, Bless?
Let's go with the warrior.
Okay. So Eldon is down to 1. And just for S's and G's, I'm pretty sure I came up with Eldon's name before Elden Ring came out, so don't come at me. All right, Britt. We've got you moving 7.
More than 5.
There you go. So we've got you going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in between 2 curses. Now, Britt, you have a warrior, so I think you're able to buy this one. If this room is not owned by a player, 1 adventurer takes 1 damage. If it is owned by a player, 1 adventurer takes 2 damage. So do you want to spend the 3 mana to buy it?
Oh, definitely.
Alrighty. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, Britt, you spent 1 mana to get the Hydra Fly, right? That would have brought you down to 9.
Yeah.
And then we dealt the damage to you for the Mysterious Merchant, but we never gave you the mana, so you should be at 8.
Oh.
And then let's get your yellow and go down to the token layer, or up to the token layer, wherever it is. I'll put that there so that we know that it's you. And I get to move a full 2 dice rolls today. Thanks, Tripnut. And by the way, hello to David with a W. I missed you earlier. All right, let's do... What did you say, Brett?
Oh, I was thanking Bless for helping me fix my screen.
There you go. I rolled a 3, correct?
Yes.
All right, I was distracted. So I return to the entrance room and lose 1 mana. I can't purchase Chambers next turn. Yeah, for Bless and I, this is really just a race to the bottom.
I'll beat you there, Mike.
You might. All right, Dave, it is your turn again.
Is there some kind of effect from that fly room? But
Yes, you get 1 less to your roll. Good call. So you go 1, but you get doubles, so we'll give you your mana first, and then we'll look at the effect of that room. Okay, so you're in that room that I landed in. Do you have a cleric, Dave?
I do not.
All right, so 1 adventurer takes 1 damage. You'll get to decide. Next turn, you roll 1 die and move that many spaces backwards, and you distribute that damage.
All right.
So let's head to your characters. Which one do you want to take that damage?
Let's do the warrior.
Okay. I feel like you guys are trying to be nice to me now. Okay.
We would never.
Yeah. All right, Bless, you are going to be moving 10. So we got you moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is this another cleric? The funny thing is, so Bless's character is a cleric. He plays a cleric in our D&D campaign. Like, this is just like you getting just hosed here as far as like all these cleric rooms. So 1 adventurer takes 1 damage. If the player uses a character ability in this room, nobody has a character ability. They lose 1 mana. If they use an ultimate spell in this room, they lose 2 additional mana. It's one of those things that's never really going to happen, but I figured it was something fun that we could throw in there. So what was it, 1 damage?
Yeah. We'll do it to the thief.
Alrighty. Britt, you have nothing crazy going on, so you can roll 2 dice like normal. You got an 8, so you're going to pass the entrance. 5, 6, 7, and you're safe on your own chamber. So let's give you your give you your mana. And then Dave, I think we're up to... Nope, we're up to me. I'm trying to give myself an out. If I don't move, I don't die. So I can't purchase a chamber even if I land on a good one, and I think I didn't anyway, so that's a lucky break. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm on these guys again. And these guys are 1 adventure, takes 2 damage. So let's snap back down here. Alright, now Dave, do you remember what we had to do for you?
Is it 1 dice backwards and split the damage?
Yes, sir. So 4 damage that you're going to have to dish out. And you're going to land on... Very rough. That's one of the torture chambers. So Dave, you're going to land on this one. I think you have the mana to buy it, but let's see where you're going to distribute your damage first.
Do I get to split the damage?
Yep, you get to distribute any way you like. If I had owned it, or if Britt had owned it, or Bless had owned it, and you'd landed on that, we would be able to decide, hey, like, I'm just going to throw it all at one of your guys.
So do 1, 1, 2 right across the board.
Just like that?
Yep.
Alrighty. And I'm assuming that chamber up there with 3 mana that can be purchased by a mage is going to end up in your repertoire now?
It shall.
Alright, so we're going to bring you down to 10. Take the eyedropper tool. I said take the eyedropper tool. And where's those tokens? Okay, and we'll throw that there so that we remember it's yours. Alright, Bless. Let's see what fresh hell you find yourself in.
Surely another cleric room.
Did I add that roll, or did I just add the dice, or did I hit the roll button?
You just added that 1 dice.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
So, 2 for Bless.
You're welcome, Bless.
You just landed in a thief room. Alright, so 1 adventure takes 1 damage. Roll 1 die. If you roll 3 or lower, move that many spaces backward. If you roll 4 or higher, move that many spaces forward. Don't trigger chamber effects. So, you got the double for rolling 2 1s. So do you just want to spend 1 mana and buy it?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. And let's throw that in the token layer. Let me move that down. I don't like how not pretty that looked. That's better. Little OCD over here. Alright, Britt, let's move you next. Doubles and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you landed on Bless's brand new chamber. So, Bless, you get to decide which adventure is going to take a damage of Britt's... Oh, wait a minute. Make sure I don't lose our dice rolling mechanism. So who's taking damage?
Her cleric, because I'm salty.
Alright, so we've got that, and then what we're going to do is... I see like another word back there. I guess I never fully erased whatever name was back there. Alright, we're going to roll 1 die for you, Britt. If you roll 3 or lower, you move that many spaces backward. If you roll 4 or higher, you move that many spaces forward, but you're not going to trigger the effects anyway. So you're going to move forward 5 spaces. Sorry, I hit the space bar, and that moved us forward. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Sean, what's that from? That sounds very familiar, but I can't place it.
It's Futurama, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might be that, but I feel like it's from a movie, too.
Zach Brannigan says it, I believe.
Is that what it is? Is it only that? I feel like I've seen it in live action.
I was thinking the same thing as Dave, but it could be from a movie.
Ah, there it is. Shrek. I knew I wasn't crazy, but it was another animated. Alright, we're going to roll again for me. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Bless. All right, so I've got 2 warriors, an 8 and a 3. Who's taking damage?
We'll do the 8.
Aw, you're sweet. You're just trying to keep me in this longer. All right, 1 die. And I move back 2 spaces. All right. Let's throw that die back up there and roll for Dave. All right, 8 for you, Dave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the chamber that Britt landed on earlier, our mysterious merchant. Choose 1. Restore 2 health to one of your adventurers and lose 2 mana, or gain 2 mana and deal 2 damage to one of your adventurers.
So yeah, I'm gonna be healing my guys.
Okay.
And take the monk up.
All right.
2.
Your monk, who I don't know if anybody can see this that well on the stream, but I'm going to zoom it in. I very specifically chose an orange bandana for this little green guy. He's my little Michelangelo. Alrighty. Bless, let's see if you survive another round. So we got a 7 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is Dave's chamber. Let's give you your mana real quick. And we'll zoom in and see what this guy does. So Dave, you get to distribute 2 damage to the player's party, plus an additional damage for every dead adventurer they have, up to 3. So.
Dave, no.
One of these guys is dying.
Take him out.
Yeah. Do all 3 to the road.
Bye, buyers. Alright, let's see if we can find this one. There we go. We knew you well. I think you're going to be the first one out, Bless. Alright, Britt. Let's move you real quick.
Doubles again.
Doubles and the highest you can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you unfortunately got cursed, though. So you lose 1 mana, so we're just going to give you 1. Actually, no, we won't give you anything. So you just completely wiped that turn, which really, all things considered, is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. So I am moving. I got an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I land on Spectral Swords. Deal 3 damage to 1 adventurer unless there's a mage. There isn't. If there is a mage, deal 1 damage to 1 adventurer. So someone's taken 3 damage. And I know who. Bye, Kev. Alright, let me give my 2 mana to myself real quick. And let's see. I was the first person up here, so there we go. Dave, let's give you a roll. And you got 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you landed on Britt's Kinmalar portal. So Britt, now that this chamber is owned by you, you get to do 2 damage to one of his adventurers. So if I bring you over here, you can actually kill his thief.
Yes.
There was a lot of eagerness there. Yes! Wipe them out. Alright, what do we got here? Is it this one? There we go. I'm getting used to my own board. Alright, Bless. This might be your last turn.
Nah, I got this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, bye, Bless. It was nice knowing you. Thank you for taking the hits first. Now, an interesting thing just happened. Bless has the 1 chamber that doesn't go away. I mean, there's house rules that you could do or something like that happens, but in this case, Bless actually haunts that chamber. That's Dave's. Where is this one? Yes. So if anyone lands in Bless's room now, instead of it dealing one damage, it's going to deal 2. Haunted rooms deal double damage. Okay, so Britt, let's roll for you.
Does that room specifically say that, like, if someone dies, they keep it, or?
No. So every chamber is like that.
Okay.
So just cool stuff. That actually was one of Matt's biggest contributions. Like the idea that, like, if you were knocked out of the game, you still had a say. All right, so Britt, we're going to give you your 1 mana for rolling the doubles, but Dave gets to distribute 2 damage to the player's party plus an additional damage for every dead adventure. I don't think...
it was like instant karma.
Right. So, what do you think, Dave?
Let's do it all to the cleric.
Okay. Everybody hates clerics this game. Okay, let me go up and roll for myself. Bless, I'm going to move you up to the corner. So that's where bad boys go. All right, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm cursed once again. I lose my 1 mana.
What does that room do? I think I missed it.
So that is phase shift. So let me zoom in on that real quick. I said zoom. I did not say whatever you just tried to do. Arrgh. And I don't know what weird Egyptian language it's trying to tell us, but so return to the entrance room and lose 1 mana. You cannot purchase chambers next turn. So I could be one of those lucky people that lands on a chamber that I need, and it wouldn't do me any good. So, Dave, we're back over to you. We got a 10 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, look, Dave! What's that?
I said, oh, one of the warrior
One of the
ones.
2 warrior ones. So, do you want to just lose 2 mana?
I do have a warrior, right? Yes, I do.
Yes, you
Guess
do.
I'll just do that.
Okay. So, it really is specifically going to be a battle of attrition for me. I got to see if I can outlast you guys with my 1 warrior who remains. I don't think that it's going to happen. Where's that token layer? Okay. Britt. We're going to roll for you. We got a 6 for you. I think you just passed the room that Dave bought. So you are in... You have a mage, and you can buy the Chrono Lord Chamber. So this is 1 adventure, it takes 1 damage. The player immediately rolls and moves again, but moves backwards.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. So let's give you 8 mana. And use the eyedropper tool to grab that, find the token layer again. And throw that there. Okay, roll for myself. I think I landed on that chamber, Dave? Or is that... Am I miscounting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Back in my good old buddy, the Ironbark Grove. So 1 adventure, my only adventure, takes 2 damage. Alright, I'm going to roll for you, Dave, okay? So we got 11 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you're over here in this corner. So this is a curse. This is you lose 1 of your rooms or you sacrifice 1 of your adventurers. This is the first card that Bless landed in earlier.
I will get rid of the playground then.
Alrighty. So let's go to the eraser tool and we'll find that token layer again.
Oh, that gives Mike another chance to get a room.
Heck yeah, if I roll doubles, double ones. Let's see some snake eyes. All right, Britt, I'm going to roll for you. 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So once again, landing in your own room, safe. All right, here's those ones I'm waiting for. Not quite what I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no cleric. One adventurer takes 1 damage. Not the worst thing.
You get a mana.
Yep. I think Britt's gonna win. Just saying. Dave, we're gonna roll for you. And you got a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You landed on the demon door. You no longer have a thief. So one adventurer takes 2 damage. We'll deal that first before we do anything else. But you are going to move forward 5 spaces where you trigger the effect of the chamber that you land on. So let's head down here. Who's taking the damage?
Warrior.
Okay. It's 2 damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's head back up there real quick. I really didn't need to do it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Dave, you trigger it. You don't have a cleric, so you can't buy it. So this is another 2 damage. Are we dealing that one to your mage or your warrior?
We got the mage.
Okay.
We're along with that.
Oh, this is getting close.
This was all a part of my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Going into this.
All right, Brett. You move 10. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you landed on Dave's room. So let's give you your mana real quick. Lest I forget. And the 2 adventurers with the highest health take 2 damage. If there's a tie for the highest health, every adventurer with the highest health takes 2 damage. So, Dave, you don't even have to do that work. It just became everybody's game again. Okay. I have got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't buy it. One adventurer takes 1 damage. The player's party may not move until they roll a 5 or higher. If the player fails to move, one adventurer takes 1 damage. So every time that I'm stuck in that room, I take an additional damage. Honestly, might be able to survive even with that. Yeah, staying in the same room actually is kind of beneficial. All right, Dave. 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I counted that right? Yep.
Yep.
You're familiar with that room, right?
Yeah, get rid of my 1 health guy.
Alrighty. Bye, Mr. Mage. Let's come here and look at your adventurers real quick. I don't think that Z is anything, so we're going to get rid of that. Yep. There we go. What'd you say, Bless?
This turned bad for Dave real quick.
Yes, it did. Alright, Britt. You are up. And you get 2 3s, so we're going to give you a mana. And then let's move you your 6 spaces. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You landed on this room. I think you have a cleric, so you can actually buy this one.
Yeah, I might.
Alrighty. So let's take 2 mana away from you. Go find that token layer. Okay. And this is it. This is where I die. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Your favorite room.
It absolutely is. All right, so I get the 2 mana for passing, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then taking this guy down to 1. And Dave, this is where you die.
Yeah, probably.
So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So safe for the turn. Oh, hold on 1 second. No lorem ipsums. Thank you. Okay. Britt, we're going to roll for you. 9 for you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you landed in Dave's room. So let's give you your 2 mana real quick just before I forget. Alright, so Dave, distribute 2 damage to the player's party plus an additional damage. I think she just has...
Kill that no guy.
Bye, mage. Alright, let's hide that adventurer. Okay. Here we go. Where does 8 put me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right in Britt's room. Britt, I think you kill me. I don't think you have to make any decisions. So let's throw...
Thank you for making that decision for me.
Yep. Took it out of your hands. And then let me send myself up to the corner.
Join the party, Mike.
Yeah, buddy. All right, Dave, you ready to make it a trifecta?
I've achieved my goal of being in this game longer than Mike, so I'm happy.
There you go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phase shift keeps you alive.
Yay.
All right, so you are down to 7 mana. Britt?
I'm gonna land in one of Dave's rooms.
Hey, at least you can't land in any of mine.
I think you missed that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What'd you say, Dave?
I said I think you missed mine.
Oh, yeah. So, Britt, you actually can buy this one if you have the 5 mana that you want to spend.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
One more place for Dave to land and hurt his adventurers. Up to that token layer.
If I land on it, it would kill me.
Yes, it would. And let's see. 9 is the magic number. 10 keeps you in the game, Dave.
And it's a heal, isn't it?
It is, at the expense of 2 mana, but I'm sure that's
Yeah.
a cost that you're willing to spend. All right, Britt. See if you can stay alive. So 6 for you. That lands you on...
Bless his haunted room.
That's 2 damage, right? Yep. So, bless... Who's getting down to 1 health? The warrior or the cleric? That was a silly question. Alright, and now, Britt, we're going to roll you a die so that you can move forward or backwards. So you're going to move back 1, but you don't trigger the room.
Okay.
Okay, and Dave, we're going to roll for you. So you got your doubles, so let's add that if you don't die. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, let's give you the mana first. And I'm guessing that you want to lose one of your rooms?
Yeah, I kind of have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to. It's your only hope of staying alive. Are you going to lose your Blood Demon or your Necromantic Aether?
What does the Aether do? Because
So
I know the Blood does a shit ton of damage.
Yes. Yeah, the Aether is 2 damage to the player's party plus an additional damage for every dead adventurer they have. So
That would actually
it would...
that would do a ton of damage too.
So right now it would deal 3 damage, so it would be enough to kill Jandar. The other one would be enough to deal damage to both of them and bring Jandar down to 1. Gorok would be dead.
I'll get rid of the Blood Demon, dude.
Okay.
Because least there's a chance.
Great, I know where I'm gonna land.
Right. Alrighty, we are going to give Britt an 8.
Called it.
What's up?
I said I called it. I said I know where I'm gonna land.
On my spot.
Right. Alrighty, so are you killing Jandar?
Yes.
Alright. So let's give Britt her mana. This changed in a blink of an eye. I definitely thought Britt was going to make it out of this. She still might.
Oh yeah, she certainly can.
I just wanted Bless to die before me, so...
I like how the two people who are still on the board are like, yeah, I don't need to win. You just need to lose.
Team low expectations.
I missed some great comments in the chat. Sean's out here talking about Foamy the squirrel with the creamy cheesy creamy cheese. All right, Dave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you've landed on Britt's Hornet. So only really 1 damage to deal. So I'm going to take care of that for you, Britt. Give Dave his mana. All right, Britt. Is this the turn for you? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same thing as Dave. You can heal your guy at the expense of 2 mana.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, a tie game right now.
So what do I have to do with the flies? Is it move backwards or something?
You just lose 1 roll. So, like, if it's a 12, it's actually an 11. So you got 7, so it's actually a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you landed on your plague rats again. You want to buy them back?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That was 1 mana, right? 2 mana. Okay. Okay. Roll for Britt. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a blessed chamber. That's 2 damage.
Damn, I wanted to be the person that killed her.
There's still time. All right, so we'll roll 1 die for you and figure out where you go. So 2, you're gonna move back 2.
That's one of my spots.
There you go. All right, Dave, you're up. Oh, sorry. So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Entrance. Sweet relief. Okay.
Alright, for a double one.
I landed on, so do I get 3?
Oh, yes, you do. I'm going to give you an extra mana for...
Don't worry about it.
You're not going to need it long enough.
Oh.
So, where are we, Britt? Did you land on destruction?
Is that it?
That's it. So the player loses the closest of the chambers they own, which, as everybody can see, is Kinmalar Portal, 1 space away. If it is within 3 spaces from their party, one of their adventurers takes 2 damage. That's it. That's all she wrote.
We're so close.
So very close. That was one of the closest games I've seen in a long time. And it just goes to show, Rihanna thought that she won because she was a land baron last time. And even having all that real estate, it doesn't do enough when there's really mean cards on the board. Well, good game, everybody.
Yeah, good
That's
game.
fun. Good game.
Hope you guys all had fun.
I thought Brett was going to take it.
Yep, I did too. That was a lot of health to not a lot of health very quick. So, and Dave, you managed to just squeak out a win.
It's because Bless was haunting me the entire game.
Hey, can you imagine if me and Bless had actual rooms that we could haunt people in? All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us for today's session of our Quantum Quest Live. We're planning on doing this a lot more. we actually got to 25 followers today. So over the next week or so, I'm going to show you what our plan is for Quantum Quest Live in sessions like these. We're going to open it up to the public in some pretty interesting ways, and we're going to unlock some pretty cool modes as we get to 50 followers, 100 followers, things like that. We're also at the 25 follower mark, which means that during our next session, I'm going to show off some cool stuff like the emotes that are going to come once we reach the affiliate level on this channel. And we'll just kind of, see what other cool stuff we've got. We got a decent amount of followers tonight that got us over the hump, over that plateau. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate all my players who joined me today. Bless Dave, Britt, thank you very much for being a part of this. And we're going to real quick drop out of this screen. We're going to go to our closing the show screen, and we're just gonna wrap things up. So do any of you three want to say anything before I cut you off?
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Let me know when we're doing this again.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That's fun, thanks.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we're going to jump over to the show closing screen. And so, folks, I wanted to thank you for watching the stream today. On the screen now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest and That's Entertainment content. To find anything out about the Tellest Fantasy Universe, you can go to Tellest.com. For the battle maps that my brother and I create, you can go to Patreon.com/Tellest. To see my streams live, be sure to check me out here on Twitch.tv/ThatTellestGuy. To see all the streams I've ever strummed for maps and talking Tellest, you can check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/@worldoftellest. For our video game related content, you can go to thatentertains.com or the That's Entertainment YouTube, youtube.com/@thatsentertainmentgames. And to find all of our awesome merchandise, including high quality mouse pads, handcrafted magic wands, battle maps, posters, and more, head to our shop at etsy.com/shop/Tellest. Thank you very much once again. We will be back tomorrow for making maps. We're going to be showing off some of the new Eastern assets from the Incarnate set. They just came out. I made a pretty cool dojo that I'm going to show you how to do on your own. So I hope to catch you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.